All right, Meta, what is your topic for today?
Well, since Mao was talking about old music, I thought we would go in that line again. Because, listening to that stuff when you're a kid obviously impacts, what you might listen on in the future and whatnot. But the same could also be said for the video games or stuff that we used to play as a kid. So I wanted to actually ask you guys,
We all turned into killers, right?
As a kid? Yeah, we all turned into killers. We're actually all
That's what the 90s would have made you think.
Right.
It would have. It would have also made you think that the Power Glove was a really good idea for the Nintendo Entertainment System. What did you guys grow up playing? Like, what were games that you played as kids that, really left a spot of impression on you, or kind of have died down as you've grown up? But what was something that you thought was amazing, and where is it now as compared to then?
Pokemon, and it's probably the best-selling fictional universe of
My
all time.
God.
I was gonna say Pokemon definitely has a deep-seatedness for at least for us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say
That's
too,
how,
but now I'm
that's
going to
how-
try to think of something else.
That's how me and Tets met, is over Pokemon.
Well, they get
Yeah.
this one, then obviously.
The card game specifically, I think.
The card game video game.
Right, that's what I meant. This is
Dude, the card game video game was so good.
I've
It
never
was.
actually played the physical card game.
Stupid card game video game was actually really
Dude,
good.
we never
Oh,
got
yeah.
the second one
I
too.
loved it.
Only Japan got it.
I think I grabbed an emulator for it once, and I never really played it much. But
I did.
Oh
I played
my
it for a little
gosh.
bit. I will
Yeah.
admit.
What about you? What about you, Obs? You got to think of something else.
Oh my
besides
god.
Pokemon.
Y'all talk about Pokemon for a little bit. I'll come up with something.
Well,
You
I
talk
was gonna
about,
say,
you talk about yours, Meta. Or Tets. Go ahead.
Oh, go for it, Tets.
Because
were we only
I
going
was
with
actually
one?
not gonna go with.
I don't
You
know.
can go with the other ones. I don't care.
Say more if you got them.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Definitely. Definitely.
I mean, I think most of us have similar tastes.
Yeah.
I
I know
like
for me, a large amount of the games I played were the fighting games. The Dead or Alive, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur. I played the living hell out of those games.
some of the earliest games that I had from pressure for myself were actually like the NES and the Sega Genesis, because that's what my parents had. But I remember playing like Sonic, 2, Sonic 3, and then
Obs'
the line
jams.
for that.
Actually,
All right,
I love those games when I was a kid.
those are great.
All
games.
things
the
Sonic.
earliest games that I can remember really playing, the games that I remember like kind of, I guess, marking myself as a gamer like early on with the old Nintendo was Super Mario Brothers 3. Because I would sit there like until like 9-10 o'clock at night and be like, I have to get further because there's no save in this, and my mom being like, it's bedtime, you gotta finish that up. Me being like, but I'm on World 3, and
Then you'd watch the wizard as he fell asleep.
yep. But then the other one, and I doubt, I don't know if anybody will even remember this game because it was kind of one of those just games that was made, I think, but it was called Tiger Healy, and you played
Oh
like
my
an
god!
Seriously, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. And the music from that game is so good.
Oh man, I love.
One of my friends had it as a ringtone for his phone for a long time. We used to play it.
Oh wow.
It's like something crazy like that.
It was an up-scrolling. You played an Apache helicopter, and you just went through and you shot like tanks and turrets and planes and helicopters as you went through. I don't even know that there was a story, and if there was, I
don't
sure
think
as
there
heck don't
was.
remember it. But I remember playing that game so much, partially because I was always afraid, like if I started Mario, something would happen, and because I couldn't save, like it was like I didn't want to go through that again. So I would just play Tiger Hilly and try to beat my old scores.
Nice.
I played that game so much.
Yeah, it was fun. There's nothing really special about it, but it was just one of those fun, dumb little games.
I think I never had the Nintendo console systems. I started with an original Game Boy with Pokemon.
Wow.
And that's how it all began for Mal.
My
That's-
first
that's how
console
it
was a PlayStation 2.
Oh wow, seriously?
Holy moly.
Yeah. So the best
Wow.
one, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. You got a great console.
Right. I played a lot of handheld because I've had every like Game Boy, every version of that up until the current 3DS. And so I just played tons of JRPGs on that. And then when I got a PS2,
Golden
I
Sun.
played all the RPGs I could from PlayStation 1 and 2.
Wow. I remember playing an old game called Air Fortress, which was for the NES, and I think it was one of the few games that I actually went through and nearly fully beat on the Nintendo Entertainment, because like as a kid, some of those games were like hard as nails.
Oh yeah.
And,
Was that the one where you played like an F-16 fighter and like?
No, it was you were like, they call it Air Fortress, but it was really stupid because it was in space, so there's no air out there at all. But but you played as like this. You would start the level in this ship, and you had one hit you were dead. So you had to be perfect evasive. But you start in a ship, you would go through the side-scrolling part, and then you would land the ship, and then you would get out, and you would go through the fortress, and you would have to blow the fortress up completely. And then you would have to escape before the timer ran out, otherwise you would die. And then you would repeat that, and then as you went along in the game, obviously the fortresses got more complex, they had harder fights, or when you got to the core of the planet, it would have a defense, etc., etc.
Tetch just posted a picture of that. Yes. The memories. Yes.
I never played that. Oh my gosh.
It was fun. It was a fun little game.
The first helicopter game I remember playing was actually for the PlayStation. It was I don't remember what it was called, but it was like you would just fly around in an Apache, and you would kind of do the same concept. You would blow up tanks, you would blow up enemy bases, you would try to refuel and replenish your supplies when you could. You could even land it at secret areas. If you could get through it, you could land them and get like a Harrier aircraft or a different type of Apache as well. I can't remember what
This
the game
sounds
was called.
familiar to me.
Yes.
I played a ton of like helicopter and like jet games. Like I played a lot of them to the point where I don't know that I could differentiate any of them if you just gave me a huge list. But and honestly, kind of going back to last week's podcast, if there's another genre that I'd love to see more of, it's that cockpit fighter style gameplay. Like we don't see those.
Yeah, we
games
don't get
anymore.
enough good
No. we don't.
dogfighting kind of games.
I don't
do
think I've ever
remember.
played any of those.
I do remember my first foray into the JRPG realm, and that was through the game called Legend of Legaia, which, unbeknownst to me at the time,
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah.
unbeknownst to me at the time, I had no idea that JRPG was a genre. I just
Basically
knew that
Dragon
game was
Warrior.
amazing. Yeah.
I think the first game that I played that wasn't a JRPG was Halo.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my first JRPG was actually the Super Mario RPG for SNES.
That
So,
would be it.
speaking of Legend of Legaia, you know how you always hear those horror stories about people who accidentally overwrite your saves, like when you're
You're
really
not
far-
thinking of the right game, by the way.
Was that not that one?
Nope.
Oh,
No,
was
that
it?
was a handheld. This is Legend of Legaia is a PS1 game.
Oh,
You're thinking of Lufia: The Legend Returns, which
that was it. Yeah, that was it.
I don't think is.
That's what I was thinking of too.
What?
Oh no, I was thinking because you said Legaia, and it popped in my head that old SNES game, but that is Lufia.
Yeah.
So Mal had the handheld game, and I played it.
Yeah,
and
I
I
know
went to
what you're
save on
talking
a
about.
second slot, and I totally saved over his first slot. And so I've never had anybody save over my saves, but it's totally been the Dirk who did it.
Wow.
I was so upset. That's actually probably, now that you mention it, my favorite game from childhood. Actually,
Legend of
Lufia: The
Legaia?
Legend Returns. It's
Oh.
not like an amazing game because I think I went back and I've played like the original, and it's practically
It's like
except for
Dragon
the
Warrior, basically.
the combat is a bit different. It's almost it's kind of a repeat of the original, but I just loved it as a kid. I don't even know why. It's not. Oh, I guess it's kind. I don't know. No, it's not like Dragon Warrior because it did have. You would walk around and the enemies would be on screen,
Oh, okay.
and you could attack them and stun them to get the jump on them, sort of
Okay.
like games do nowadays. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that was probably one of the first that had that idea.
I
Actually,
probably just don't remember it well enough. I didn't play it like super great amount of time. One of my friends had it.
Huh.
But now I'm a man who loves his nostalgia.
Oh, I've played that game. You're like, I was thinking about it this whole time. Like, Lufia: The Legend Returns. Man, where have I heard this game?
Yeah, this was later on, I think.
Wow.
this is because I played the game. This is for Game Boy Color.
Yes, that is. I played this.
Here you can
I
see, like,
loved
if
that
you want to
game.
look at the Google images. Yeah, I loved it. And because you in combat you had 9 people on screen.
Yes. Great.
You chose because they were arranged in a square, and each column was your like. You could choose someone from each column to like go for the turn, but you had 9 people to choose from out of the party that was like 14, 15 maybe. It was a huge cast too, which is probably why I loved it.
I actually like the story to that. Even now, like I don't ever want somebody to like tell me like what's wrong with it. I just want my rosy nostalgia colored glasses for the story because I really love the story and I don't want somebody to ruin that for me. It was fantastic. It was perfect. It did no wrong. No. I would never go back.
I still love it. You can't make me not love that game. It is impossible.
I remember is one of the first times as a character I was like, no, I don't want this ending, and then they give you the real ending at the end. I was like, oh, thank God. I loved that game.
That twist at the end.
Oh yeah,
because I hadn't played the original, so I didn't know any of like the backstory, which informs you a lot more of what's going on.
Yeah,
because this is actually a prequel though. But it like you, but if you play the later ones, you know like some of the characters.
I was in the same boat as you, Mal. That was the first one I played. I never touched another one after that. But I played that one. I enjoyed the crap out of it. It was good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Go on, Teds.
I was just gonna say for a different genre type. One that I also played a lot of was Roller Coaster Tycoon and Dino Park Tycoon.
I played Roller Coaster Tycoon. I never touched Dino
I guess I did sort of play video games in school.
Yeah,
that's kind of what
I played the
Dino Park
Tycoons
was.
in school and Oregon Trail.
Yeah, Oregon Trail, of course, yeah.
So those are the ones I played in elementary.
We can't not mention Oregon Trail.
Yeah, that's kind of true. You can't not mention Oregon Trail. Everybody's played that game in their school if you grew up during like the 90s or 80s.
Yep.
Man, I remember that. That game was lethal, dude. I've never played such a game.
You have died of dysentery.
You died. Yeah.
But Terry's a girl's name. You've died of dysentery.
My God.
Don't diss Terry.
I think I want to change up from Pokemon for everybody. A lot of the games that mean a lot to me now are stuff I got into when I was in high school. Because my first Final Fantasy I played was 10, right when it came out. Now,
my favorite.
I love Final Fantasy after playing it, and then I played my first Tales game in high school.
Okay.
I think I played my first. Yeah, I played Ocarina of Time, which was my first Zelda game. Well, and I was in 9th grade as well. Weirdly enough, so nostalgia. There's a lot of bad games I remember because I had a lot of bad games for SNES and NES stuff that I'd get like yard sales and stuff. Like Block was a bad game, or Bubsy, or some other like really bad classic bad platformers. But
you ready for that Bubsy sequel?
Hell
no.
No one's ready for that. I also had Bubsy 3D for PlayStation.
No one asked.
That might be the worst game I've ever played.
I
Who
watched
the hell
someone
even
play
what
it.
this Bubsy you speak of is.
But don't
Go
worry
watch
about it.
someone play the PlayStation one.
Yeah, it's Bubsy 3. Don't watch it. You'll get sick.
I want to know who okayed that. They had to have a meeting about that. Who okayed Bubsy?
It was like a Sonic ripoff, basically.
Oh yeah. And
It's-
then like the 3D one is sort of like probably like a
It's like-
Crash Bandicoot ripoff.
It's
But
not
the
even
new
that.
one.
It's
It's
bad.
The new one they're coming out with.
Oh yeah, I don't know who okayed
Bubsy
that.
3D is almost like a 3D collectathon kind of ripoff, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's just a bad platformer. I just
But-
don't.
It was a
came
very
out the
bad
same year as Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So, and it looks way worse.
Oh wait, no, sorry, a year before I think that was the European. Still,
For my games that like I have super nostalgia about growing up, I'm actually going to go with the Kirby games for NES and SNES.
Ah.
The first, I probably played games before it, but the one I remember like before any other games, like the earliest that I played was probably Kirby Adventure for NES, and I know it was the first video game I actually ever beat. I used to play it all the time at my cousin's house. Then when I got my own NES finally, that was like the first game I got. And then Kirby Superstar for SNES had like a co-op mode, and me and one of my best friends growing up used to play it all the time. And that's when I told him, dude, we literally played it so much. And I told him if I could get my hands on an SNES Classic, that we were going to go back and play that game all the way over again. Just to like completely relive it up and get drunk on nostalgia. So
Nice.
that's probably what I'll go with. Otherwise, it would just be Pokemon. So
cool.
Mega Man.
Mega Man was good too.